So I will just quickly show everyone something because, as I mentioned at the opening, right? So at AltLayer, for the past few years, we started in 2021. We're building a lot of this infrastructure for sort of not just for Ethereum, but in general for the blockchain space. And most of the audience and also users, community members really treat us like sort of this infrastructure service provider. And today I will just show you first part, show you about what are the progress we have and what are the existing services we provide, right? And beyond that, the second part, I will also show you some super exciting new initiatives from our team. And basically, we are also trying out something new and also some sort of surprise for everyone. As I mentioned earlier, right? So basically, for the past few years, we really do a lot of this research and development into the scaling solutions, into into Ethereum ecosystem, also broadly for the blockchain industry. Luca just mentioned about these rollups, native rollups. Later, I will also roughly sort of go through all the different scaling solutions we have. And but beyond that, I still want to say that at AltLayer, we are always this kind of infra service provider. Even if you look at our website, we have these all different infrastructure services, right? But in general, in short words, you can always treat us like this kind of underlying infrastructure service provider. And beyond that, if you really know some technical terms about these blockchain scalings and also all different services, right? In short, we are providing this rollup as service at the same time AVS, BVS. AVS means sort of these actively validated services, basically part of the restaking underlying services with EigenLayer. The BVS is basically we also provide this shared security underlying infrastructure to secure rollups and the other infrastructures together with Babylon. I think earlier this Charles and also Luca did a super good, introduction and also explanation of all different rollups, right? And so basically for us, since we started much earlier, since 2021, right? We show that we really believe in this kind of future. It's a rollup world, and we feel that rollup basically are new smart contracts. And for the past few years, we literally make it super easy for anyone, not just the professionals in sort of this industry, but also for some fresh developers. If you really want to launch and roll up, we basically provide this one-click dashboard for you. You can choose different stacks and also different DAs, different interop solutions, and then you can quickly spin off the rollup by yourself. So that's why I feel like by end of probably next year, we can really have 1,000 rollups. Right now, I think we already have a few hundred rollups in the space. At the same time, we all know, right? Rollup can really provide this ultimate scaling for most of these applications because, in the end, off-chain is sort of just one sequencer to process all the transactions. So in the ideal case, it's as fast as these Web2 servers. And but at the same time, we know, right? There's a bunch of issues just now, Charles and Luca mentioned, right? It's there's just a single sequencer. At the same time, we also have these finality issues. For most of the time, we need to wait for the finality from Ethereum. So that's a problem basically we have right now. And so that's also the thing sort of on top of the existing rollup stacks like OP Stack, Arbitrum Orbit. We are also providing some extra these kind of services we together build with EigenLayer, Babylon, and the other ones. For example, the decentralized sequencing, pre-confirmation, and also try to work with the other interop providers to address this liquidity fragmentation issue. But in general, we all know, right? This for the rollup, right? It's basically to help a lot of applications and protocols to offload their transactions and also the computation from the on-chain, typically on-chain of the L1 to off-chain. And then we can use a super powerful machine as a sequencer to order and process and batch all the transactions. And later it can generate the proof, either it's a fraud proof or ZK proof, and then it can be verified on the L1. So in that case, as you can see, right, it's one of the best way to basically delegate this large computation to off-chain, and then once we finish all the computation, then sort of the verification can happen on-chain. So in that case, like, we can sort of delegate as much as the transactions and computation to off-chain, but at the same time, on-chain of the L1, like sort of Ethereum, I can just do the verification for it. But of course, there are some bottlenecks, as I just mentioned, right? Like, you can process all the transactions with a super powerful machine of the sequencer as fast as possible, but we have to wait for the confirmation from the L1. Because like for most of the L2s or these rollups, right, once you submit, like for example, the DA data or the state root hash to the L1, because for Ethereum, we have different epochs, so we have different these kind of blocks, right? Normally we have to wait for around like 12 minutes, and then this transaction somehow with a high probability it's finalized. So in that case, as you can see, right, we have some sort of a soft finality from the L2. Basically, if you submit the transaction to the L2 sequencer, if the sequencer like sort of shows like it received the transaction and process transaction, then you can get this response basically as a soft finality. But there's no guarantee. Anything or any transaction, if we really want the guarantee, is it better we wait for like sort of the batch transaction DA or the state root hash sort of written to the L1. And beyond that, as I just mentioned, right, a lot of us right now feel like for Ethereum after the POS, and if we just wait for one block and then it's sort of finalized. But in reality, or at least in theory, that's not the truth. Basically, we have to wait for, as I show you, right, we need to wait for 2 epochs and sort of 32 slots, and roughly more than, it's a double, 2 epochs and 64 slots. So in that case, as I show you, right, it's around like 12 minutes. And as I just mentioned, right, if for the L2 typical, you really need to wait for like sort of state root hash or these DA basically written to the L1, and then the L1 you need to wait for the finality on the Ethereum. So that's a part, like even we have all these very powerful rollup stacks, and somehow the bottleneck is on the Ethereum. Basically, we still need to wait for these 12 minutes or even longer for the finality. So there are 2 things. One is like we need super fast, it's kind of a soft finality or pre-confirmation for a lot of new applications. We all know that right now the most popular or most like sort of hyped concept is a perpetual DEX, right? For a lot of perpetual DEX, for example, Hyperliquid and Lighter, right? User really need them to provide a sort of a sub-second like latency, or sometimes like it would be great like just within a few milliseconds. So in that case, if you're running the L2, the soft finality within, for example, OP 2 seconds, and base also I think around 2 seconds. It's not fast enough. So that's why there's some sort of researchers and a project proposed to do this based rollup, and the idea is to have some pre-confirmation gateway or as a pre-confirmation proposer. It can help to collect all the transactions and give the response within sub-second. It's typically it's around like 200 milliseconds. The example is from this Flashbot, it's a flash block, and also from this Gataka. They also have some similar proposals. So that's one way to address, like for example, the super short latency of these soft finality. And beyond that, as I mentioned, right, instead of waiting for this L1 finality for like sort of 12 minutes or even longer, then is there a way like we don't need to wait for it, like so we can have some fast finality if we know that all the transactions on the L2, once they process, everything can be sort of confirmed. So this is something we call is a fast finality layer we built together with EigenLayer. The idea, as I mentioned, right, for the sequencer side, once all the transaction process, we have another decentralized network called Mark network. It composed with a bunch of these decentralized validators with the stakes from this eigen. And typically, this network has over $1 billion worth sort of ETH stay on the network. So if anything wrong, like basically this validator will be sort of a slash. And beyond that, as you can see, right, this network is securing or at least guarantee this kind of finality of this sequencer. So in that case, we can further shorten this finality time into a few seconds. So we can sort of address second problems of this finality thing. Of course, like all this stuff we've been done for the past 2 years, and now we really have a very comprehensive suite to offer all different like sort of these Legos or combination of stacks and tools for our customers. So we basically super close to OP, Arbitrum, ZK-Sync, and also Polygon. So we provide all different stacks and also with different DAs like EigenDA or East DA. And beyond that, if we want some decentralized sequencing, we also work with Espresso. And also on different settlement, right? Settlement, we can, right now we launch rollups not just on Ethereum, but also on OP, Arbitrum, even this BNB chain and also the OECS chain. Of course, like the thing we provide for the clients is quite comprehensive, but at the same time, it's also very straightforward. Within a few minutes, we can sort of help the clients to really launch the chain they want. We already have a bunch of clients and some famous ones like this Hashkey. We launch a chain for them, and also we provide services for all different sectors and categories for AI, social, RWA, DeFi, all the things. One showcase is basically this Hashkey chain. We launched this one for almost 1 year, and it's running perfectly, and it's pretty stable. And beyond that, recently we announced another like sort of a big launch with this T-Rex. T-Rex is the gaming company out of this EVG, one of the biggest entertainment companies in Hong Kong. And beyond that, as I mentioned, right, we work with different partners to address like not just a rollup scaling problem, but also on this latency problem. We work with Gataka on their based rollup to basically provide a super fast pre-confirmation solution. And together with Eigen, we also coined a new term called restate rollup. The idea is not just to launch a rollup, but also use restaking to secure, for example, the decentralized sequencing verification and also this fast finality. And a few months ago, we did this fast finality layer for Sonium. It's basically Sony L2, and to sort of address this fast finality issue for them. And beyond that, we are also providing a bunch of this AVS development work. And as EG just mentioned, like basically we work together, join force to build the AVS for DIN, basically a decentralized infrastructure for the RPC network. And beyond that, because like people not just love Ethereum, right? They also love Bitcoin. So beyond that, we also work with Babylon to provide this fast finality layer by leveraging the shared security of BTC to basically make sure like we can provide this fast finality for a bunch of these rollups. Also, like probably last month or sometime, we provide the first fast finality layer using this Babylon or the BTC to secure this plume. As I mentioned, right, for the past few years, we've been spending a lot of time on this R&D to provide the best scaling solutions for the space, mainly on the rollup side. And beyond that, to address a bunch of these shortcomings of rollups, we work together with a lot of our partners to provide this base rollup, also fast finality layer. And beyond that, basically, as you can see, right, we really have this full suite of all the solutions for scalings and also share security. Yeah, that's something we already have, and we're also hiring a lot of new roles. And if you are interested, you can just scan the QR code. But this is sort of like a very quick summary of what we've done for the past few years, and also all the big progress we've made for the past few months. Okay, then this is the first part, right? It's good, like I can also have some time to show the new stuff. As you guys join, right, you can see there's a QR code everywhere. There's called this Rumour.app. The cool part is basically already from this one-liner, right? You can hear first and trade fast. So this is one of the latest initiatives we have apart from these infrastructure services we provide. Because like internally, we also have a team working on AI, and granularly we figure out, okay, not just providing this kind of infrastructure, probably internally we can also build some cool application out of it. And this is sort of application we have like sort of after almost over half a year's efforts. The idea is like, we all know like in crypto, a lot of people are doing this kind of trading, right? And for most of the time, we leverage the news we learn from Twitter, Telegram, and probably also some most of the words across friends, and to do this kind of trade. And normally, if we do this kind of rumor trading, it's sort of the things like if we know some big rumors coming, for example, the ETH ETF approved very soon, like last year, and then we will just start to buy a bunch of these ETH, or start to open the long position on perpetual DEX. And once like a lot of people talking about it, discussing about it on Twitter and TG, and we will just ride on the wave. And in the end, it's finalized. For example, SEC really approve it. It's basically the best time for us to exit or close the long position. So it's sort of like for most of this rumor trading or news trading, we want to buy the rumor and sell the news. But in reality, for most of us, probably when we see the news, when we see the rumor, actually it's no longer a rumor. It's already confirmed, and we just hear the news, and basically everything is pressed in, and we sort of couldn't really ride on this kind of a trend of the rumor. So in crypto, especially for the recent few months, right? All this kind of trading is really about the timing, not really about the truth. For most of the time, it's really about like what kind of people want to speculate on, and it's not like sort of like we want to see news. For most of the time, the best timing is really like when the rumor already start to spread, and if you know roughly the rumor, and it's really the best timing for you to speculate, and when everything is sort of finalized, it's the time for you to exit. Of course, it's not just for crypto, right? Even in a stock market, we all know that when every quarter there's typically this kind of earning calls for big companies, right? If we roughly know like sort of what's the data based on our experience, or if we have some very deep analysis, we roughly know like sort of the earnings or the revenue for the past quarter for a lot of these companies. For example, the Max 7. Then like we can roughly like sort of put the position on these IB or different apps, right? And when these sort of these earning calls come out, it's basically the time like for us to basically exit the position. Same to the ETH sort of ETF case, right? And beyond that, for rumor in crypto, we also have something quite special compared to the stock market, because for stock market everything is transparent, but in crypto we all know that the transparency is a big problem. For example, for the recent like sort of listed project, right? We don't really know. Even they say the circulation supply is 20%, but for most of us, like we probably don't believe it. We feel like okay, the real circulation supply probably just 0.5%, because most of the airdrop and the community portion are not really released to the market. So that's sort of something very unique to crypto, because a lot of things are not transparent. Even the information, some of the information public, but we have to do some on-chain analysis, and sometimes we need to really dig into the very details and to figure out, okay, what's real and what's not. So that's why there are a lot of these kind of rumor trading opportunities. We can roughly learn from some insider from some project to see whether founder selling, or sometimes like there's a new exchange listing, for example, Upbit or Bithumb listing. If you know some insider news, and basically it's you have a huge sort of opportunity to do this kind of arbitrage trading or this kind of insider trading. So that's why like we want to make sure we have more transparency for the space, and we want a very unified platform for all users to have that sort of the same chance to really access these rumors and news as first-hand information. So that's really the intention we build this rumor. Basically, we want everyone to hear the first, and then we can also trade fast. As I mentioned, right, there's so much like sort of a noise on Twitter, Telegram, and for the typical rumors, like we want to aggregate is basically some insider info of the projects, transparency, and also, right, some deals may not be real, and some deals may basically fake. And if there's some potential partnership, and we basically want to aggregate all these rumors as early as possible and share, like basically like either like the AI sort of curate these rumors, or like the user submit these rumors. Of course, you may say, okay, we can see most of them from the Twitter, and so what's new on this Rumour app? But at the same time, I know that right now with Kaito and all different yapping system, right? Most of our content on the timeline of Twitter is basically all the paid content, all these noises. So in that case, we really need a platform to really filter out this noise, so they can really get the signals early. So that's why, like for Rumour, we have a super powerful AI backend. We built like almost 1 year, and to really filter out all the noises from Twitter, Telegram, and when you see the content on the Rumour app, so basically the already after all these different levels of filtering, you spend probably 1 minute on Rumour, you can get all the latest information. Instead of like sort of staying on Twitter for 5 hours to really filtering out all the noises on it. And one big example is sort of like early this year, this Sam, the CoinDesk report about this misuse of this fund for the market making from this movement, and also there's some shadow co-founder issue of this movement. Actually, if you were at this Dubai event before early this year, or even some other events, you roughly heard about these rumors around this shadow co-founder and some issues about movement. So that's why, like, as I mentioned, right, once we heard about a rumor and do some basic verification, probably that's the best timing for you to really sort of short this position if the rumor is negative. And then when the news is out, that's the best timing. Basically, you can close the position, because like everyone knows and everyone will just do some actions. So that's a perfect example. And recently, like yesterday, we saw there's a rumor that this blaster may be winding down the L2. It's not verified, but as you can see, right, it's some early signal. You won't see it on Twitter or TG, but somehow some users or our AI system or detect from some sources I can show you. So that's a part, as I mentioned, right? If you don't do trade, you can use Rumour as sort of your early signaling app for crypto. You can, if you do, it's similar to these Hacker News for these Web2 geeks. You can quickly check out all the latest rumors and news in the space. If you do trading, and basically you can really perform some actions on top of these rumors, because like we really have this super powerful AI backend system have you to already filter out all the noises. And you can also check out the sentiment from the other community members, and just if you for the rumor, if it's positive, you can long, and if it's negative, you can basically short. Right now, it's still we do this private launch, and this week we also work with Token 2049, the host, and together we run some campaigns. If you know some good rumors, you can submit a rumor. You can earn a lot of these rewards if a lot of people view it and trade it. And beyond that, there also some trading computation around this rumor. Now, like you can just scan the QR code almost everywhere, and you can quickly join it. You don't need a wallet anymore. You can use your email, use your Farcaster, use your Twitter to do the login. And after that, you will quickly see basically what are the latest rumors in the space. You can join the group and chat with the others. And at the same time, as I mentioned, right, you buy the rumor, sell the news. We also have the latest news section. These news are all these confirming information from all different sources, from Twitter, Telegram, and also some other data providers we have. And as I mentioned, right, you can also join the group, talk to the others, and figure out like, okay, what the other people think like about the rumor. Of course, we also have some very cool sentiment check. If you feel the rumor is bullish, and you can just do the bullish, and it's for different tickers. All the tickers also somehow automatically labeled by our AI backend. So if you like it's bullish, you can do bullish. You can really check the overall sentiment, because some people feel like this rumor is bullish or is positive, but some of them feel negative. And beyond that, you can also do trade. The cool thing is like it's not just a prediction market. You can directly do trade, do long short, and you can directly open these leverage positions for on this app. As I mentioned, right, if you can just try it out. Like right now, still requires some invite code. It's not pure public yet, but all the audience and participants for the event, you have the chance to join early. Probably you can earn some rewards via the campaigns, and also earn some points, or there's some surprise in the future. Yeah, I just want to say like this is also the very first initiative or tryout from our team. Previously, for the past few years, we really spent all the time to build the best sort of infrastructure services for crypto projects. And on top of that, we sort of try to really build some consumer-facing applications on top of our super powerful infrastructure. And just have a try and leave some comments and feedback for us. We hope you really enjoy not just the infrastructure part, but also our application. And beyond that, we still have the afternoon with all the great speakers from all different projects. And hope you really enjoyed today's event. Thank you.